Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Queen City Unleashed. I am Sheyi Olushina, and I am so excited. There are a lot of things that I like in life, very few as much as I like bourbon. And so I'm here with Tom Bogan and Matt Simpkins of Oaklore Distilling Company, right here in Charlotte, our very own distilling company. Thank you both for having me. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I was just telling you guys, bourbon became my thing. I blame my buddy Justin. In COVID, I was finally out of grad school, and he was like, hey, you should try some bourbon with me. And I did, and it has led to lots and lots of money invested into bourbon.
Well, I thank your buddy Justin.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a buddy Justin. His name was Matt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and I had a buddy, Justin. His name was Tom.
Wait, so you guys got each other into bourbon?
I think at the depth that we're in, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's
yes.
right.
I mean, you opened a distillery.
I mean, we had tried bourbon before. We had, but like to really get in and like buy a bunch of bottles and nerd out on it and really have fun. It was really the connection that we made, I think, early on that put us on that path.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of a journey we took together. That's fun. I never thought of it like that, but that's how it was. Because early on, my first love was Irish whiskey. It's kind of was the beginning for me. Bourbon came in quickly after that, but that was a journey that I did with my partner.
Okay.
Yeah, my first journey early on was B&B and then cognac. I like cognac. I thought it was interesting. I liked it warmed up. I thought it was kind of fun. And then really when I came to Charlotte, that's when bourbon really took its next step. So I had experience with a little bit with bourbon in Atlanta when I lived there, and then when I came here, it was like that was the J curve.
Okay. Question for you.
Yeah.
Irish whiskey, I can kind of do. Bourbon, absolutely. Are you guys Scotch drinkers?
I celebrate the entire whiskey catalog.
Oh, okay.
I like Scotch. It's probably not above Irish whiskey or bourbon. Bourbon is it's just absolutely my favorite. I love the corn. I fell in love with corn. Love what it does in the barrel. Bourbon is America's spirit. It's beautiful in every way.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. I did a little bit of beer in my history. I like beer. I love bourbon.
Oh, I 100% agree.
And so, but I think that we are whiskey guys, and so Scotch is in the catalog, and it's fun to sort of hint around Scotch. We don't go there often. We kind of focus a lot on bourbon. That's our passion.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll have a little bit of Scotch and Japanese whiskey and Irish whiskey.
Japanese whiskey I enjoy. Scotch is the one that no matter how many times I've tried it, the peatiness of it, I can't do it. Yeah. And like I've tried fantastic Scotch. People are like, you're gonna love this one. And no matter how much I try, it's just like something about it I can't do. Just about all other whiskey I'm a fan of, but Scotch is just maybe as I grow and mature, my palate will mature to Scotch. But right now,
we had an amazing night with a bottle of 34-year Glenlivet, and that whole bottle was gone at the end of the night. It was absolutely incredible. But then we had another night where we had a 40 or 44 year, something like that, single grain, and it was really interesting. But it just doesn't do the same things for me as a great 4 to 7 year bourbon. Find that spot that just really works, where grain all works, all the variables work, and then you got a really great product. So I'm kind of with you, but I'm also with Tom on the whole. We're gonna try anything because.
You never know what you
like.
like.
Mikey Likes It from that old Life cereal commercial. Did I just date myself? Mikey Likes It. We'll just try anything. Yeah, we'll try anything. Not like Mikey.
I think there's beauty in the different kind of whiskeys, and I think there's an understanding of how they got to where they find the product that they produce. Like Scotch's peatiness comes from that's what they had. They had the peat bogs, and that's what they used. And so there's beauty in these different kinds of whiskeys, and bourbon is America's whiskey, like I said before, and the beauty with all the rules and regulations behind it, and there are more so with bourbon than anywhere else. But it's fascinating. It's lovely.
I was explaining this, like I have some friends recently that were like, I don't remember where we were, but we were talking about bourbon, and they're like, so bourbon's not whiskey? And I always ask, I'm like, do you actually want me to answer this question? Because like I can actually answer it, or I can just give you the simple one. They're like, no, I actually want to learn. And I'm like, then my eyes get real big and I get excited about it. I'm like, bourbon has to be made in America, same way champagne, the region of France. It's like you could put the same stuff in a barrel here, Canada, Mexico, wherever. It's not bourbon. It's like it's got to be here. What is it? 51% corn.
That's right.
New charred container. Oak
Container.
container.
Yeah.
Okay, oak container. And people are like, what do you mean container? I'm like, you can technically put it in a box, but it's just not. It's gonna be hard to move. Like it's not.
You could, and it's gonna taste different. It's not the same.
So, is there? Am I missing anything?
Yeah, there's a couple other really fun ones for distillers. It has to be distilled less than 160 proof off the still. Can't be barreled more than a 125
That's right, yeah.
proof. Has to be barreled at that or less.
Okay.
New charred oak barrel. I don't think it go in the bottle less than 80. I don't know if
Can't
that's
be
a
bottled
bourbon.
less than 80.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's quite a few rules with bourbon. At least 51% corn, made in the United States. Yeah.
So I have the JV version of it. They have the varsity version of the.
No one needs to know
answer.
those other ones. That's the
Right.
ones we have to.
You guys
adhere
have to
as
make
a
sure you
cast,
get right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will get to talk about all the bourbon that you guys have. But first, I want to understand a little more about you guys. How would you describe Tom and then vice versa?
Oh man. Well, first of all, I would say Tom's a
I'm
great
sitting
friend.
right here.
Yeah. Well, he's
I can hear you.
Oh.
Oh,
I'll start
also,
over.
I forgot this.
Oh,
Cheers,
yeah.
fellas.
Cheers.
Oh,
yeah. Absolutely. No, I'll say it with great confidence. Tom is a great friend. Tom is a good person and someone that I've grown really close to over the years. He is incredibly good at crafting whatever the thing is that needs to be crafted. So if it was any kind of project that he's going to take on, it's always well thought out. There's a plan in place. He executes that plan, and then it comes out excellent. And I think that was early on something that really was fun. We did some other projects together that weren't bourbon related necessarily. And when we started into bourbon, it was clear to see that he doesn't cut corners. He puts everything into making sure that everything is done really, really well. And that's what made our partnership really easy to work with, because I've never doubted a product. I've never once doubted that what we were going to put out was going to be excellent.
Yeah.
And I know that's Tom's gift, one of Tom's gifts that he brings to the table. But I would start off and end with he's a great friend. We could sit around, even if we didn't have a business together, we'd still sit around drinking bourbon together.
Yeah, that's how it started. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, man.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, you gotta match that at least.
Yeah, it's tough for me to match anything Matt comes up with, but the fact is we are good friends. I've known Matt for a long time now, and we've taken this journey together, and it's amazing. And I couldn't have a better partner to help with the things that I'm not good at. He's very good at presenting and sharing and vision, and that's something that we needed in this business. So I'm thankful that we have that. But this started with friends, and having a business together has been challenging, but a lot of fun and really good. And I appreciate being able that Matt is very patient and he puts up with me. And that's also very good and a blessing when we have a business relationship and a friendship.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I love that for you guys. I think that's awesome to be able to do that with your friends. You hear a lot more people doing business with like their spouses and like the joys of that and like how cool that is. But getting to do that with your friend, I will say most people normally just enjoy bourbon, drinking it with their friends. Clearly, your friendship is much better than ours because you guys were like, we don't want to just drink it. We just want to make our own also. And so maybe I'll aspire to get to that level of friendship with somebody, maybe not in bourbon, but in something where we're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna create whatever it is we enjoy.
I remember when I lived in Atlanta, my wife and I were looking at a house to buy, and we had this really great realtor that was always very, very just cut and dry, just told you exactly what was on his mind. We walked in this place, and it's falling apart. It's a great location. We're like, this is going to be amazing. You know, we're going to move here with our kids, and it's going to be great. We're going to fix this place up. It's going to be awesome. And he asked the question. He's like, well, I got one question for you. How strong is your marriage? And I was like, wow, that really helped us go, okay, you know. And so for the craziness that is the bourbon world, and for the business, and to start a business from scratch, from nothing, from not being in the industry, I think that our friendship has really been paramount to success, because you're able to push through things because you're friends.
Yeah.
And it also tests those boundaries all the time, because it's an incredibly difficult project. But we're lucky to be surrounded by great partners. You know, we have Travis and Derek and Sarper, who are more silent than this, but they're a great team to have, and we're really fortunate to have great guys behind us. And then all of our wives, all of our owner families are incredible. You know, all the kids are supportive. They wear our shirts at wrestling matches, and they try to wear them to school, and then they get kicked out. They got go home and change clothes.
Oh, wow!
No, but it's just a great supportive community. So that's been really great.
Yeah, this industry and this business takes a lot. It is not sitting around and enjoying the whiskey is a part of it, but there's so much more. And without the team that we have, we wouldn't be able to be as successful as we have been.
Yeah.
And so the team is really important, and we have a good team.
I feel like you guys are kind of lucky too that a lot of people work hard in whatever it is their business or their craft is. But you guys work hard in something that at the end you get to reward yourself with and actually enjoy. I don't think a lot of people get to say that. Like if you build houses, at the end of the day, you don't get to move into every house you build.
Yeah.
Like you guys work on something that you genuinely get to enjoy later. And I think that's really...
Well, that was a goal of
Yeah,
ours in
right.
the beginning. Our
That's
goal
exactly right.
was we wanted to make something that on our shelf, that's the whiskey we would grab and drink. That was important.
Yeah.
Hey, if I go down to my basement and I go into my little room and I got a number of bottles, I'm going to grab a bottle. Which one am I going to grab? I wanted to make something that's the bottle I grabbed and drink.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Our collections are pretty vast, and I end up going and grabbing one of the different expressions that we've done most every time I go down for a pour.
Man, that's awesome. That is awesome.
That's fun.
Whiskey's fun. Yeah.
You got to be careful to not get tunnel vision, right? I mean, because if you're only tasting your own stuff all the time and that's just kind of where you focus and that's where your energy is, well, then you lose the perspective, right? You have to constantly be trying other things. And really and truly, that's where this whole thing kind of started, you know. I'm not sure how much of our story you're familiar with, but, you know, we were friends, neighbors.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions.
Oh.
Like, can you tell me how you started
Yeah.
into this? Neighbors don't start distilleries. Like, how did you get from...
Neighbors don't start distillery. We're changing that. All
Yeah,
neighbors
we
now are now
That's the way it
expected
goes
to-
forward.
State of North Carolina, watch
we
out.
live in the same
Groundbreaking.
neighborhood. We are literally neighbors. We met walking our kids to the bus stop. Matt moved in just a little while after myself, and I used to always walk my kids to the bus stop. And one morning there was another dad walking their kid to the bus stop, and we met walking to the bus stop.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And when we realized we had some things in common, we ended up hanging out a little bit. And there's that awkward, you know, like, so are we going to be like friends and like hang out, or are we just like acquaintances in the neighborhood? And I'm always the guy that's just like, I'll just take the risk, man. Hey, let's come hang out. Let's drink together. And
We're gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends.
I don't know. We'll just figure it out. So we got together and drinking some stuff. We found that we really enjoyed doing blind tastings.
Yeah.
So like Tom would find these random cool things in a different place that he had traveled, and then he would pour me 4 glasses, and we'd have to go through. And initially it started out where I'd have to figure out which one was the Scotch, which one was the Irish whiskey, which one was the Bourbon, which one was the Tennessee whiskey, whatever the case was across the board. We do the same thing for one another, and then we kind of graduate to the next things, which were, these are 4 different kind of bourbons. Can you tell which ones are wheat, which ones are rye? You know, and then you would figure out from there. We graduated to state of distillation. Where was this? What state was this made in? How old is it? What's the mash bill? And it was really fun.
Oh, you guys are bourbon nerds.
Nerds, dude, nerds. And
It's true.
To any friend I've ever said that I'm a bourbon nerd, I take it back. I have never once said,
Maybe
what
we
do
should
I
stop
think the
telling that part of
mash
the
bill
story.
is in a bourbon?
think-
But that's super cool, though.
I think what it is it became a passion. It became a passion that we both enjoyed. We both loved talking about it, spending time with it, and growing our knowledge. And to the point where we started playing around. And I said, Matt, look, I can't get enough information. I don't know enough. And he said, great. Who do you want to talk to? Where do you want to go? And so we spent a year just traveling. We would drive to Tennessee, and we would drive to Kentucky, and we would drive anywhere that would let us in the door. And we were able to expand our knowledge and grow the business from who would let us talk with them and learn with them. And it was a really great industry, and it's a lot of great people out there willing to share and help. And we used every bit of that to help grow.
Every time we had one of those conversations, it moved us forward months or a year.
it's
I
true.
mean, it was crazy to think about all the steps that we got to skip just because we listened to people that knew what they were talking about, and didn't just like, think, oh, it's just your opinion. It was like, well, no, that's the way it's done. We should
Yeah.
learn. And we did, and we had great conversations with Drew Colsveen at Willett and John Hargrove, who at the time was at Bardstown Bourbon Company, is now with Whiskey House, and Chad Slagle at Two Trees, and Justin King at King's Family. They were folks that really gave us all kinds of great information, and
Yeah.
it didn't hurt that we were just sponges. But what really kicked it off was a meeting with Charlie and Andy Nelson from Nelson Brothers in Nashville. At the time, they were putting out a bourbon called Belle Meade. It was largely, I think, an MGP product at the time, and they were working on their own stuff. They brought us in, took us behind the scenes, and we got to just walk their distillery with these two guys. Founded this company, heard their story, and just soaked it all in. And you just fast forward now, we're 8 years into this project, and boy, that's just invaluable. I mean, to have those kind of relationships, we were
That's
really,
awesome.
really lucky to have some great friends in the industry.
I don't think it's shortcuts though. Like I think it's using the resources that are out there. I think whatever it is in life, it's probably somebody who's done it before you. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's a shortcut, but it's like using what's there. Like sure, you could have taken the long way around, but like I don't think there's a badge of honor in that. Like I think
That was our Bourbon University. I mean, we paid
Yeah.
tuition to go to that, right? I mean, it was
true.
plane flights and
Yeah.
car rides and meals away and time away.
Bourbon
We
University.
went
I like that.
That we got our masters in bourbon by listening to these folks and learning from
now
them.
working through your PhD dissertation here
Yeah, that's
with,
right.
with your
Yeah,
very
that's
own
right.
Yep.
with
That's
your
right.
very own stuff.
That's right, and we still
It's my
know
honors thesis I'm working on right now.
You said that's
It's my honors thesis I'm working on right now.
best of luck.
and we
Best of
still
luck.
have so much to learn.
Yeah.
And that's fun for us because whiskey has all of those great opportunities to continue to learn the creation and the creative, and it's very exciting for us.
I think there's like endless possibilities when it comes to bourbon. There's just so much you can do with it.
It's true.
One thing that I have to throw out in there, some of my grad school friends, I was with them recently, snowboarding, and we were in Utah, and High West is made out there. And so
Yeah.
I was talking about it, and they're like, oh, you're really into bourbon. They're like, they're like, this is such a niche hobby. And I said, guys, bourbon is not niche. And they're like, yes, it is. I'm like, guys, I don't know how it is here in Utah because I understand alcohol rules are a little different here. It's like, but in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, I feel like your average man drinks bourbon, and I've met strangers, and within 3 questions, oh, you enjoy bourbon? And next thing you know, we had a half an hour conversation about bourbon. Would you say, as bourbon nerds, very passionate about the topic,
Yeah.
would you say bourbon is niche?
I would say every exceptional human being drinks bourbon and whiskey.
Exceptional
Yeah.
human being.
100%. Yeah, that's not average. That's above and beyond, man. They're enlightened.
Your facial expression to that was
Enlightened.
great.
I agree.
We know and love High West. There were some really fun things we got to learn about and try early on, and then one of our team members, Jack Shute, was with High West before
Okay.
he was with Sagamore Spirit, and we always say, and I know it makes him blush, but he's the reason that people east of the Mississippi know about Midwinter Night's Dram. We always give him credit for that. So,
Wow.
So we're lucky to have Jack on the team.
But yeah, they said that. I'm like, maybe it's a regional thing. I was like, but I literally have been at a tailgate with someone that I just met, and my dad was there. My dad is not a bourbon drinker at all, and I just met the person, and bourbon came up, and before you know it, he looks at my wife and goes, can you talk about bourbon like this with anybody? And I'm like, anybody who likes good bourbon can
Right.
be a friend of mine. I was like, we have one great thing in interest, and like, we'll figure out the rest. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I see it.
100%, man.
Yeah.
100%. We always say here, whiskey's fun.
Yeah,
Whiskey
it
is
is.
fun.
It
Whiskey's
is.
fun.
We're not. Again, I'm not on the level as you, but my part of my journey was we did. My buddy Justin started getting me into it, and then I met an individual that I think you guys actually know, Bill Ryan.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of weird connections with Bill Ryan. Like his son and then his nephew actually went to grad school with me.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, no way. And so we had dinner with him, and he was like, he's got a massive collection.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you do tastings? He was like, sure. And I was like, would you do some for me and my friends? And he was like, absolutely. So for my birthday a couple years back, I had a whole bunch of guys over. Almost all the wives and girlfriends were on a bachelorette trip. I'm like, this is perfect. The guys can get in our own
Yeah.
trouble. No one's here.
Right.
And he came over, and walked us through a whole bunch of stuff. And it was the first time I felt like I actually really learned about bourbon and not just drinking it, like how to drink it the right way. What am I looking for in taste? And like some of the statistics, like 51%, like those little details that the average person doesn't know if they don't look it up. And I was like, this is so cool. Like when I have information about something like that, now I'm like, now I have even more reason to enjoy this because there's like a real science. Not this isn't just liquor that got poured in. Like there's a reason.
Information helps you appreciate it so much more.
Absolutely.
And the more you know, the more you can appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's fascinating and complex and beautiful, all in the same. Yeah.
So and again, not going all the way to opening the distillery, but I was like, I want to drink so much more of this and understand it. So I looked at some of the guys. I'm like, we should go to Louisville, and they're like, yeah, we should, but most guys they'll say it and then never plan it. And I was like, you know what?
No, you just said, well, let's just go to Charlotte. There's a great one there.
Yeah. There you
Now,
go.
what you said, right?
now I have been telling
Yeah.
them, but we booked a whole trip. It was 6 of us, and this is a small little tangent. We were supposed to get like an SUV, like we were driving. We got there and they had a minivan for us. It is 6 grown men climbing in and out of a minivan all weekend. And I was like, we look ridiculous, but we just embraced it. We're like, we're the minivan boys now. That's just who we are.
That's happened or not
Definitely,
happened with us
We did the
before.
same
Yeah.
thing with the same kind of car.
You know,
Yeah, 100%.
So, but we had a ball, but like getting to see like all the different distilleries, how each one is very unique and how they do things.
what was your favorite?
Ooh.
Favorite can be so many different
Yeah,
reasons.
that's what I was gonna
So
say.
you can have a caveat why. You can
Okay,
have, hey,
so-
it's favorite because.
Most surprising and one that we kind of just went to, Rabbit Hole. They're it's very new age, like, but all the technology and the way they designed their building, we just thought was very unique. The juice is pretty good too, but like it was more the tour and how like they built it, knowing that like people are gonna come do tours
Yeah.
here. Because
Yeah.
a lot of the older ones, they didn't know this was gonna be a thing that people were gonna come tour years later. So they're
Yeah.
not built with that in mind. Theirs was, so we enjoyed that. Old Forester, a really fun one. Our tour guide, I
Yeah.
think, really made it.
Tried and true.
Yep.
Really, really fun. Getting to see a barrel get charred there was also super cool. And they're a little sliding door effects. Like we go downstairs, we're like, where are we going for this tour? They play a video, and then the guy's like, now let's begin the door. And he pulls the door back, and I'm like, okay, this feels kind of fun. And then, I mean, Buffalo Trace is it's a really cool
Yeah,
place.
Buffalo Trace is very cool, very historic.
Makers also looks pristine. Like that is one of, even the way they took care of the grass and everything, like
Yeah.
very aesthetically pleasing. So those were the ones that we really,
I thought Castle and Key was really nice place.
we
They-
canceled
they-
the tour
Oh, yeah.
there because we got moved up for, it was that or Buffalo Trace, and everyone's gonna want to go to Buffalo
Oh,
Trace.
sure, right.
But we got moved up, so we actually got to go walk around Castle and Key. Beautiful. I think almost all of us bought a bottle from Castle.
If
and
you
Key.
want a really interesting journey when you're over that way, you should hit Glenn's Creek.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Listen.
You should.
Change the subject. All right.
You should go-
The
you should
whiskey
go there.
industry is not for the faint of heart.
Okay.
Castle and Key, 30 million, 60
Oh
million
man, yeah.
to get that
They
going.
thought it was going to be just a couple, and
It is a
Wait, hold on. They 30, 60 million to
to-
start
to,
it?
to get it up and
Yeah,
running.
it was going to be like this, $5 billion project.
The
and
whiskey industry
it's
is
just
really,
crazy.
really hard. The barrier for entry is really, really tough. It is expensive to get going. It is the reason why things don't get off the ground because of the amount of money it takes. And it's really tough because you let whiskey age for 4 or 5 years. Our whiskey age for 5 to 6 years. So, we had to 5 years ago make a plan and then wait. I mean, that's tough. That's
Yeah.
a tough business plan. That is a difficult business model to follow, and so it's hard to find good, passionate people to keep going and fighting the good fight for
Yeah.
distillers. And
Yeah.
so you say Castle and Key, man, from 30 to 60 million. It's
it's
something.
crazy.
How much they had to put in to make that great, and it is great, and it is
Yeah.
beautiful. But the
Yeah.
amount of money that has to go into these is. When we learned all the things we had to learn, it wasn't just about whiskey; it was about the business. And
The
so,
endurance.
people who would help us helped us in a number of ways, and it was all the information.
Yeah.
It was, hey, know what you like, know why you like it, and then know how to share it with other people and get them to understand it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot on the business, and that's a big part of it.
talk about delayed gratification in a business, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
bearing money and hoping that it multiplies 5, 6 years later, and like that's just
Yeah.
it is hard.
It's
Like it
hard.
is very very hard. And like when I explain it to people, I'm like, I think I can't remember who it was had a really good image of like what it looks like going into a barrel, and then over the years how much it
Yeah.
decreases. And I'm like, yeah. So if people all of a sudden love your 10-year-old bourbon, you can't just go make more. I was like,
No.
you've got to wait for
Right.
it to get to 10 years. And I'm like, and that's hard sometimes, that like you want to put more out, but I think people who do it the right way take their time and they let their product speak for themselves. And when it comes out, it's gone because
Yeah.
people know it's a really good, really
I
good
remember
product.
we met with Bill Owens, who founded ADI, and we were talking to him early on about the things we were going to do, and we're like, hey, we're thinking about we probably need to raise this amount of capital. And he was like, well, just add another zero.
Oh my
Because,
gosh.
I mean, whatever you thought it is, it's going to be 10 times more than. And it was just like, wow. I don't know how we
Add
how we
another
do that.
zero's a wild statement,
Pretty
because
daunting.
like 100,000. I'm not saying this is what it was, but $100,000 and $1 million are two very different
Two
numbers.
very different numbers.
Very different
And
groups
then
of
a
people
number
you're
of the folks
asking
that-
for money for
well,
from.
Yeah, well, a number of the people that we talked to early on that was in distilling were just like, don't.
It just takes a lot of
It takes
resources,
a lot of
and
resources
you
and
really
passion,
have to have
time.
the right team to get started.
Yeah.
And if you start without the right resources, you are going to struggle. And we
Yeah.
were very fortunate. And for some of it we planned, and some of it we lucked into. And we have the right team, and we have the right resources, and it's very, very fortunate. We count our blessings every day that we get to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's a passion, and it's a belief, and it's a love, and
Yeah.
that's why we do it every day.
I think you said luck, which I do think is involved in a lot of things, but sometimes I think you prepare yourself for your own luck, because if you're not prepared in certain situations, when that luck comes, you don't know what to do with it.
You put
Like,
yourself in the right spots.
right, like it's not, like you have to be ready. You have to know things, have talk to certain people to be ready for
Yeah.
what you consider now lucky. So I think sometimes it's people. Very rarely do I hear somebody that just got gifted something that like they were unprepared for, done no research for, and now they just became super
Yeah.
successful. Normally,
it's making good decisions.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
it's laboring over them and making sure the decisions you make are the best ones you can make in the moment. Yeah.
man, that's a really fun journey, but not without its challenges. I do want to ask, you guys did a lot of work to like get a distillery here
Yeah.
with the state. I know I've read a little bit about just you guys have to move mountains. Can you walk me through what you can of that journey to get to where you are now?
Yeah, the distilling world is still pretty new in terms of laws and how states and counties and townships handle them. They're just not. They don't have that language. Breweries and wineries have a lot more ease in the way they're allowed to do things. It's just different with distilled spirits. And so, every time we do something in a particular area, we have to just go ahead and make sure that it's possible. Number one, do they have language that allow us to do the things we want to do? And if they don't have the language, what's the process of getting them to do it? What we've found is we have to end up doing a lot of training for people that are making decisions about what we're going to do. We're on the phone with somebody and they're like, well, I've never heard that before. And I'm like, well, this is the way it works, and this is what you should maybe look into, and this is the kind of thing that it would be. And they're like, oh, okay. I remember when we were talking to the town of Matthews about just putting this place here, they were like, so is it going to be a lot of weird smells and a lot of loud noise and all this stuff? And we were like, well, it's not. And so they sent one of their people to go and visit distilleries just because they had no idea. They didn't know anything
I would
about
have loved to
them.
have been that person
Yeah,
on the
they're-
job. Like, hey,
Yeah,
go
they were
check
going
out
around
distilleries.
testing them all out and seeing how they all worked and what that sounded like and smelled like and felt like. And they came back and they're like, this is not a big deal. But people just don't know because
Yeah.
it's foreign. We actually went to lunch and a guy was talking to me about Oaklore. He's like, oh man, I've been there. It was really great. And then he started talking to me about beer. And it's just a common mistake that people make. They're like, oh, you guys are a brewery, right? Well, it's not a brewery. It's different. It's a whole different next process.
Yeah.
But it's just still new. It's just still very new.
Yeah, and we're fortunate. I mean, we are in the city of Charlotte and the town of Matthews, and we're fortunate because it's a great town with a lot of smart people. And so when we need to work on something, there are people willing to help
Yeah.
us. The town's a great town. What provides us with the opportunity to be open, and we love it. We love being here. We're Charlotte guys. We're North Carolina guys. We're excited every day that we get to be here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. You just said something. You're Charlotte guys now, but you've mentioned Atlanta a couple times now.
Yeah. Right.
Give me each of your journey to get to Charlotte. I'm curious your journey to get to Charlotte, and then also what you were doing before you got into this industry. Because I'm very curious what your background is to get here.
Well, we're not from Charlotte, but we're
Okay.
Charlotte guys. We're not from North Carolina.
I'm a Charlotte guy,
but we're North Carolina guys.
Yeah.
So we're proud that we're from here. I mean, my kids were born here, and they go to the schools right around here, and we've been here for 20 years. I guess we spent a little time. We stepped away, so 20. I've been in North Carolina for about 28 years now, if you add it all together. But I was a military brat. We moved all over. I ended up coming down here for school, so I went to Chapel Hill, and then my wife went to Chapel Hill as well in grad school, and then we spent some years. We moved to Florida for work, and then back to Charlotte. So
did you meet in college?
We met right after we graduated, so at the university, but not while we were both in school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you came back. You said 20 years ago for good.
Yeah, all together. I mean, we moved back to Charlotte about 06.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've gotten to see a lot of the city change.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. And have you been here that long as well?
No, so I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, in Franklin. Went to the rodeo with Waylon Jennings. That level of country was my life. I only know I was at the rodeo with Waylon Jennings. I just happened to find out after he started talking, but that was a whole different story.
Oh, okay.
But I did grow up in Franklin, horse farms and trucks and all that kind of stuff. But my dad moved to Charlotte, and I think it was like the late 80s. And so I've been coming around Charlotte since the late 80s because he lived here, 5 minutes from where we are right now.
No way.
And so our family moved here 10 years ago because we were in full-time ministry, both my wife and I. And it's just funny you mentioned Bill Ryan. We actually go to church together and talk whiskey on Sunday mornings, which is pretty fun. Talk whiskey and bourbon on Sunday mornings with Bill. He's a good guy. But that's what brought us to Charlotte 10 years ago, and then the rest is kind of history. 4 of my 5 kids are born in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so pastor to distiller.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of crazy looks about that? Like, that is something like I'm genuinely curious about.
I got a lot of crazy looks when we started a men's group for men who hate men's groups. And we had Friday night on that retreat was Tom coming and doing a whiskey tasting with all of our friends, and we talked about bourbon and life and made some great relationships. Then ate barbecue, played paintball, went ziplining, then went home. It was amazing.
Men who hate men's groups.
Yeah, that was it, man. It was pretty fun.
That is.
Yeah. Well, this whole thing kind of
Was this
developed out
sponsored
of
by
that.
the church? Like, how did
Yeah.
this start? Like, were you
100%.
announcing this? Like, hey, we're gonna start a men's group for the men who don't. If you're interested, we'll be out back. Like, how did that?
Yeah, it was great too because you could go on the retreat and the rule was you didn't have to go to anything you didn't want to. So like guys would just come and they'd kind of relax for a weekend and get away because they went on a church retreat and then come back home refreshed. It was amazing. Yeah, sometimes that's just what they needed. But we found
it was refreshing. A lot is what they needed. It is what some guys just needed to be in a group but not have to be in the group.
There's no rules about it. It's just
No,
what
it's
is it?
kind of what we
when they
have
say
here.
guys,
I mean,
guys
please
being
come
guys.
it was like we started Friday and we'd have some bourbon. We talk about the different things going on in our lives. We have a bourbon together. Bourbon has always kind of opened up conversations. It's made room for story. That's the cool thing about whiskey is that you sit around a fire with somebody, and you crack open a great bottle of Oaklore, and then the stories just kind of come out. You get to know each other. That's really what drew us into this was the story, and that's really where our name came from. So it was about story.
Yeah, tell me more about this name.
Sure. Yeah, it's about sharing stories. I'll let Tom tell you about the science behind it, and then I'll jump in on the story part.
Oh, okay.
The science behind the name?
Yeah. Well, the regulations around oak and staves and what happens.
So the barrel is one of the most important things in whiskey, and it's something that we spend a lot of time with the parameters in whiskey that we can control. And again, this is more nerd stuff and the passion and the love. We love it, but the barrel is really important. And every cooper makes a little different barrel. They season dry, they season staves differently and for different periods of time. And every barrel is just a little bit different. It's from a tree, a natural product. So every stave of the barrel is different. And so every stave imparts just a little bit of little difference in
Yeah.
the whiskey, and so it's great. So every barrel is different, every single barrel is different, and that's really important to us. And so Oaklore is about the story. It's about the story of the barrel. The barrel will share its story, the combination of all the staves and all the different characteristics that it imparts in the whiskey, and that's the story of the barrel. And then when you taste it and you taste this whiskey, your feeling is different
Yeah.
because your history is a little different about when you tasted whiskey and why,
Yeah.
and your flavor palette is a little different. And so the stories are just so many, and we appreciate that, and we love it. We love sitting around drinking and sharing the story and having the story of the whiskey, and then
Yeah.
sharing our story as part of it. And Oaklore is about the story of the oak. It's about the stories that are shared when people get to sit down and have a drink together.
Now I'm gonna look over at my wife and make a face because maybe this is why I like bourbon so much because I love stories. Like that is why
Yeah.
I do this podcast because I think you guys might show up in a news article somewhere, Charlotte Observer, or on TV, and people will hear Oaklore, right? And they'll maybe see it in a liquor store or order it at a restaurant. But for me, like I wanted to know, like, why did two people decide to start a distillery in Matthews? Like that story to me is very interesting, and I think a lot of people celebrate things in Charlotte, rightfully so, that are cool. New brewery here, new arts this, new restaurant here. But it's like behind each one of those things is a story of somebody or bodies who thought like, hey, this is why we're gonna do it, and they're very intentional about
Yeah.
this is what you go into certain restaurants. It's like we want the aesthetic to be this because you might not know, but they wanted it to remind them of a certain place that they grew up in from ages 10 to
Right.
15 that they love. And it's like, you just go there and enjoy it. But it's like, no, there's a story about the setting and the food or whatever the experience
story.
it is. And I think that's what I hope to do is be able to tell the stories for people in Charlotte, the stories of the things that we love, and also give a lot of love to your product's great. Like that's gonna get love from people who just love the juice. But
Yeah, appreciate
you guys
that.
also deserve the credit because like the creators oftentimes get forgotten, and it's just the creations that we worship and that we adore, and it's like, oh, we love X, Y, and Z, but it's like there are people who took a lot of time, spent money, didn't sleep to get to this product, and I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy about storytelling, and so I appreciate you guys for allowing me to hear and get some of
100%.
Yeah,
your
well, we
story.
love it. We love sharing. It's a lot of work, and we love that our brand can stand alone. And
Yeah.
so we're happy to put the work in and let the brand take it from there, and
Absolutely.
and the juice take it from there. Because I mean that's probably one of the most things we're proud of, that we can set that aside and let people develop their own story, find out their own love and passion with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the other part of the name that you have?
Well, I was just gonna say, the addition of that is just the palate that you have is different than the palate that I have. It depends on how much you slept, what you ate recently. I mean, all of those things change your palate, and so your story, as you sit around and taste that, is gonna be part of the story collectively. And I think that's for us really where the logo came from. It started with just these couple of staves, and then it just goes staves out from there. With all of the different stages of the barrel, with what we bring in when we share this stuff. And I mean, it's really where Tom and I started, was sharing those stories together. We always, whenever we find a bottle, 100% of the time, we're like, who makes that? Where is it from? What's it about? What's the proof on it? What's the story behind it? We always want to know those things. And
Yeah.
bourbon is so unique in that way. You don't ask that about vodka typically. You don't ask that about a gin typically. You might ask a
Maybe
little bit about
tequila, a little bit,
but
maybe, but not really.
but not quite like bourbon. Bourbon has it's just an unusual amount of story that comes along with it, and so that's really what made it make sense for us. So here we are. It's the story of the staves, the story of the oak, the story of you, Oaklore.
Man, that's awesome. I'm curious.
Print it.
We should print that. We should print it.
Boom. That was good.
Oh, all right.
So, with everything that you guys helped figure out with the state, I'm curious. I want to go in a little different direction. When it comes to the hype around bourbon, in my mind, as a novice compared to you gentlemen that do an excellent job and know your stuff, bourbon really kind of started to pop around COVID. Everyone sitting at home, I think it was popular, but I think everyone sitting at home made it more popular, is my thought on it. Do you agree? And what do you, I'm sure the excitement around bourbon as a whole is great for you guys because you also are in the industry now. What do you, I'm not looking for a hot take here, but an interesting take on the state of bourbon as we see it now.
we're just really excited everyone's getting there.
Yeah.
And it's super exciting because we love bourbon,
Yeah.
and because we love whiskey, and because we love the characteristic and the complexity and the beauty behind it. The fact that people are getting into it is amazing for us.
Yeah.
We love
Yeah.
it. We love sharing it. We love talking about it. The more people who are excited about it, the better. So it's great
Yeah.
that it is. Bourbon's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Whiskey has been around even longer. So it is great that there's an awareness out there, and there is a palate and a passion for it, and we love it. We love all the different kinds of palates and passions, which there are so many, and we just like to be in the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the industry is always going to ebb and flow. And they always do, you know. But I'll tell you, I think right now there's a lot of curiosity around it. We had a number of people that got their very first bottle here.
Yeah.
They just sort of came in. They were trying out different things, and they fell in love with the bourbon. And they walked away with it, and we're proud of that. We've turned a lot of people into gin drinkers too, which I didn't.
Yeah,
wasn't sure was
that's
going to
true.
happen. And we
Oh,
turned
okay.
a lot of
Back into
folks.
gin drinkers.
Yeah, back into
Right.
ginger. Yeah, they
Last
walked.
time I drank gin was in college.
Yeah, like I couldn't do it anymore.
Follow me this way.
But a lot of
Let me help you out.
a lot of people into rye as well. So our rye whiskey is North Carolina grown and aged, distilled, all of that here in the Piedmont. We think the Piedmont's the absolute best place on the planet to age whiskey. It's just a great climate. It does the right
Yeah.
things to the barrels. They move like they need to move. The distillate moves like it needs to move. And I'm telling you, our rye whiskey is just. I mean, it's just phenomenal whiskey that we're super proud of. It's like 6 years. It's right at the sweet spot, we think. You know, these are all available, both our bourbon and our rye, available in the ABCs around North Carolina. They're available in a number of bars and restaurants. Our website, oakloredistilling.com, has a map where it's updated on the places that you can go and find our product. If they don't have it, that means they just ran out, because we're trying to keep them going, keep those
Yeah.
bottles on the shelves.
And online.
But you can also purchase it through our website. So if you're listening to this, you're not local, go to our website and you can order it online. As a matter of fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can order our rye, you can order our bourbon, and I think you can order our port finished bourbon as well.
Okay.
So that's a really fun expression that actually has some history in Florida with
Yeah, that's right.
with Tom and his family.
Yeah, so
Really?
when we graduated, we moved to Florida, wonderful town, and we started our life there. It's where we got married, and it's where our daughter was born, and we made a great connection down there with a winery, a port winery, and so Matt and I will go to Florida and celebrate their story and that connection, and share our whiskey with them, and they share their port barrels with us, and we drive those port barrels back up, and we age our whiskey in those port barrels, and it's a really great product, and it's a lot of fun, and it's just the story of our port finished bourbon and our port finished rye is just fantastic. I mean, it's great juice.
Yeah.
It's a great drink, and available online. And it's if you wanted a really fantastic finished whiskey, we think that's one of the best.
There's another, I mean, big brand out there that finishes theirs in port barrels too that I love, and it was like one of my early entries into bourbon, and I'm like, oh, this is good. Like
It's
I
good, yeah.
I really like that, so I'm gonna need to make sure I grab a bottle of that. Question for you: going back to your early bourbon days, do you remember one of your first bottles of bourbon that you purchased or that you had?
I do.
What
Well,
was it?
I'll say this. I got started really getting into whiskey in general prior to my cognac time with my mother and father-in-law drinking Jack Daniels.
Okay.
I drink Jack Daniels with my mother-in-law and Gentleman Jack with my father-in-law. I have great memories, fond memories of tasting great whiskey back
Okay.
in the day. And I think that's probably some of the earliest times when I really got into it out of college and just sort of fell in love with whiskey in general and really kind of embraced my Tennessee roots. But then realized that the expansion of bourbon was not just Kentucky or in Tennessee. I mean, there's great products coming out of all kinds of places. And I got a bottle of beer barrel bourbon that was out of Holland, Michigan, and it was the Dragon's Milk Stout beer finished bourbon. I don't know where the bourbon comes. At the time I couldn't remember. I didn't know to look really, and I was just like, "Well, that's great." And that was one of the early ones because it was kind of smooth and rounded at the end, and it had a little bit of caramel and vanilla expansion off of what a normal bourbon would taste like. And I remember that was one of the first bourbon bottles that I bought regularly. until I found Weller, and then that changed my whole world. So that was a different thing.
Weller would do that for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was Weller before Weller was cool. I'm just saying.
You're an early adopter.
I was an early adopter, man. I got it.
Some of us were not 21 when we couldn't have been an early Weller adopter. But
Fair enough.
I remember the first time I had a Weller, I'm like, this is fantastic. Like, I remember that. I think my first bottle was given to me by one of my groomsmen, and I really wasn't drinking bourbon. I think I'd maybe sipped it once or twice, but couldn't say like I really knew what I was doing. And now I look
Justin,
back.
groomsman Justin.
No, Justin
I
wasn't
like
a
this guy,
groomsman.
man. We
Just
gotta hang out with
Justin.
Justin.
Justin, I'm gonna bring
Listen,
Justin by. Justin was at the
Where's
wedding.
the camera? I should look at. Everybody needs a Justin.
Everybody needs
Find
a
your Justin.
Find your Justin.
Yeah.
Justin's gonna hate this so
100%.
much. But my buddy,
He's like, I'm not an alcoholic, man.
no, he's not.
Everybody's
He's
talking
not.
about I gotta find a
The
Justin.
funniest part is Justin and I were getting together in a couple days to drink bourbon while our wives drink champagne. So we will.
Oh,
I will get to
fantastic.
share this with him.
Good
But,
work. Everybody needs a Justin.
A buddy got me a bottle of, I think it was like a 10-year Whistle Pig, and I had no business. I had no idea that that's supposed to be. And I was just drinking this like it was regular, like whiskey that you're gonna put in a soda or something. And now I look back and I'm like,
You're allowed to drink whiskey any way you'd like.
That's right, man.
You
You
don't
pour
ever
soda
feel
on
bad
it.
about that.
you're right. You
can
are.
pour soda
But there's
on
certain
ice.
things that I think
You could-
I should probably do justice by a little
What
bit.
you mean
can put
is
ours in a slushie,
you would
we don't
like
care how
you
you
would like
drink
to go back and taste it again with what you've
Right.
learned.
Exactly.
now.
Right.
Exactly.
We
I'd
understand.
have more of an appreciation. I didn't understand how
But
good
just
it
think,
was then.
that is what got you where you are today.
Oh, absolutely.
that's right.
Yeah.
So yours? Do you remember what yours
I
was?
do. I remember. Double Oak Woodford Reserve.
Oh, that's
So
a great
I have
place to
I have a
start.
lot of fondness for Brown Forman. I think they do a great job, and so they produce a lot of great products. But Double Oak, that's where I started with bourbon.
I really enjoyed their tour.
Yeah.
Out there.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I really enjoyed theirs. I think they let us. I think more than any other place, we actually got to really go into one of their rig houses there, and see it and smell it. And there was something that was so neat about that. And I was like, I love this smell. Like I would
Choice
want.
of words, descriptors.
Yeah,
Said
it's
it
good,
was
good.
neat.
Yeah, it was really like
It's neat.
your eye, my eyes felt it a little bit too, but like it was really cool. Well, my wife then got me a gift for, I forget what, if it was Christmas or my birthday, of like I was acquiring too many random bourbon trinkets, and she
Yeah.
was like, these need to go somewhere. So she got me a box made of staves, and it still somewhat smells like
cool.
it took me back to like being there and being able to smell it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is really cool. So I enjoy even just the smell of it. I think is fantastic and very bourbon whiskey more than any other liquor out there. I think has a homey feel to it. Like it is. To me, there's a comfort to it. Like I drink bourbon, and it's not like oh, this is like a crazy environment. Like whatever it is, like a glass of bourbon, I feel like is very calming.
Yeah.
Like,
You're saying all the right words.
Yep.
It is all those things.
because I cannot imagine sipping on tequila and being like, oh, this is relaxing. And that's not a shot at tequila. Just for me and my palate, that's never gonna feel
sure.
homey. But like bourbon, it's like there's something warm inside, like literally warm inside that makes it fantastic.
Yeah, man.
I got some more questions for you guys about your outside of bourbon. What do you guys do for fun? Like you guys both have families, you both have kids. What is fun? Do you guys have hobbies outside of this? Because you turned a hobby into a great business. So have you backfilled that with other hobbies? What does your life outside of bourbon look like?
Well, no, those are two different questions. The one question at the end is family and kids. We're still dads, and we want to be good dads and husbands. We feel like our families are blessings, and never take that for granted. And so that's what takes up a lot of our other time outside of this. Games, sports,
True, yeah,
coaching.
a lot-
I know you're
lot of
big, and I
times,
remember hearing about this. You've got quite the athletes in your family.
It takes up a lot of time, so we do. And I assistant coach the wrestling team. I was a wrestler back in the day at Chapel Hill, and
Oh, wow.
my kids
Okay.
play football and they wrestle, and so I assistant coach the team because I believe in the sport and I believe in what that offers kids. So Matt is right. Dads and kids, and it takes a lot of time that we love being a part of, and so hobbies. I have too many hobbies.
Oh, okay.
That I can barely get to because this is a passion, and we love putting time and energy into this.
Yeah.
And then once we leave here, we have kids in high school and kids in middle school and kids in elementary school
Yeah.
and kids in college. So it's that occupies a lot of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say I appreciate the fact that both of you emphasize being dads. I think that's really, really cool. I'm not a dad. Hopefully, Lord willing, one day. But my dad started a business when I was in elementary school. And that was something that I got to see him like take his business very seriously, but also like show up. So it's like, hey, he's a physical therapist and he did home health. And so there'd be Saturdays where I played competitive soccer. My brother and I both, and my sister played all bunch of sports. But he was going to be at games. Like, and if he wasn't at my game, it was because he was at my brother's game and my mom was with me at my game. But sometimes it's like, hey, I'm coming to the game. Right up until kickoff, he's in his car taking care of some work, doing notes, comes out for the game. The minute we get home, sometimes it's like, hey, your teammate's going to drop you off at home. I got to run to work. But like, I remember like my dad being a constant
That's cool.
at sports games, at whatever it is. Like he wasn't missing, like again, if he was missing something, it was probably because he was at something else with one of the other kids. And you can't be mad at that. Like, so I just appreciate when men talk about like the importance of that, no matter what their careers or their hobbies, the things that they enjoy, like prioritizing that family. That's something that always means, that means a lot to me. So kudos to you guys.
Hobbies,
Yeah,
I love watching sports and
Grilling. Matt is a griller.
Oh,
love to
wait, talk to me
smoker,
about this.
And a cook.
music. I love music.
Music.
Love
Wait,
playing
no,
music.
we got to go back to the grilling
Yeah,
piece. I have a grill. Her name is Big Bertha. Yes,
Okay.
I named
Oh,
my
that's
grill.
He has a Big Bertha too.
How about that?
Do you also have a?
We have a Big Bertha that
Yeah,
Oaklore owns.
at Oaklore, yeah.
Is she actually named Big Bertha?
Yeah.
She's actually named Big Bertha.
She's
She's
No
a 4
like
way.
foot by 6
four,
foot.
yeah, 4.5 by 6 foot.
Okay.
grill.
Real smoker. kind of
My
So-
Bertha is sounding really small right now.
Hey,
no,
man.
mine is this was bourbon and grilling were my two things of me like I'm becoming a man now. Like once I got out of grad school and had a little bit of money, I'm like these are gonna be my things, and I just love it because it's a easy way for me to say, text my friends, hey, come over. I threw something on the grill, and just have people come over and like hang out and talk. And mine is a half charcoal, half propane, full size. I really want to get into smoking. It has the option to add the smoke box.
I have a hybrid. One of the grills is hybrid.
Was that like pellets?
That's not the pellet grill. I kind of.
You have multiple grills? Wait a minute.
Do you not have the
No, I
pellet?
still got the pellet grill.
Do
Yeah,
you
so
use the pellet grill to smoke?
use the pellet grill to smoke, sometimes to grill, depending on what the meat is, and then there's a hybrid grill that does charcoal or propane, and then there's a
See?
flat iron
This
grill.
is passion,
and-
man.
yeah.
Whether it's grilling or bourbon.
Wow.
If you do
okay.
it, you go all in. This is
That's the
what
problem. When we start something and we
You wanna be
start it,
excellent.
you go in and and it's hard to stop.
You want to be excellent
Yeah.
at whatever it is, man. Okay, so maybe I won't ask for like distilling tips because I don't think my wife would be very fond of that. But grilling tips, I've been really wanting to get into like smoking stuff. I grill things. I use it more for like quicker stuff, but like I really want. Part of that is the patience that I'm
sous
working
vide
on.
and an iron skillet, man. It'll change your world.
That's the easier stuff
Yeah,
though.
I'm telling you, it'll change your world.
Doesn't have to be complicated.
Doesn't have to be complicated.
I know, but like I want the idea of like I love the idea of like a brisket that sits there for hours, and it's just like I need to be more patient
Yeah.
because if I have free time, like my hobby is just being out doing things. Like I mean, people watching, sitting at a bar with a balcony and just watching people go by and like just talking. Like that is one of my hobbies. The problem with that is I can't just leave the smoker going at the house all day the way our home is set up. So I need to be able to watch things. So I struggle with saying I'm going to dedicate 6 hours on a Saturday and not go anywhere and just be here. So that's why I haven't gotten into the smoking. But hopefully with time, I'll be calling you for help with.
Absolutely, man. Bring it on. We do meat camp every once in a while.
Really?
As new guys join the fold,
Yeah.
they go to meat camp. I'm just kidding, not really.
I go to meat camp all the time. I just forget my notebooks and I only show up to eat.
That's awesome. That's the best way to do meat camp. I
Yeah,
think.
and it's not far. It's
Yeah.
across the street from me.
That's true.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Oh, got it. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
My neighbor lives across the street.
Yeah, we do meat nights still with a lot of the original group that started
The not Bibles, not men's group.
men's group, a men's group for men who hate men's groups. Yeah.
It's the hate part that really makes
Actually,
it funny.
it started with bourbon and also started with that big Bertha grill. And we were just like, bring meat up on Friday night and we'll just grill everything and just
If
put
you
it
guys
all
are
on the
looking
table.
for new members
Yeah.
or like even guests, like
For
if
real.
you'd be willing
Officially
to,
a new member.
like I'd
Done.
be more than happy to
You're
come
in.
out
You
and
just, you're
just
in
like,
now already.
can I bring Justin?
Oh, Justin, if he's not there,
Justin's
it'd
already
be a real
in.
problem.
Justin
already planned the thing.
Justin was trying to get
Yeah,
you there.
Justin's gonna hate. that he's
Justin's
becoming
upset that
sure.
you didn't get
Yeah,
him.
Justin's trying to get you there, like
Yeah.
he got you into Bourbon. He's trying to
Right.
get you into the.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys live in Matthews?
yeah,
area?
South Charlotte,
So-
Matthews.
okay.
area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always lived there since being here?
I have only lived there.
When we moved here, we moved to the Ballantyne area.
Okay.
It was really close to my wife's job at the time.
Okay.
And then we got pregnant with our third kid, and we moved here.
Okay.
So we've been here in our current home since 2010.
So the reason I ask is because one of the things that I ask everyone on the podcast is like I want to also hear some of the history of Charlotte and like how things have changed. What are some of those things that have changed that
Wow.
stand out to you, that stand out to each of you about,
Yeah.
because you being here 20 plus years, 10 years, you guys just come in at different points. And so we're coming up on 5 years in May. So I'm just really curious, what are some of the things that you love, maybe things that you don't love as much, but some of the overall.
I think Charlotte is a really, it's a great town. You have to find your place in Charlotte because Charlotte is ever growing. It just is. It moves forward, and it grows, and it develops, and it moves forward. And there's a little bit of growing pain in there, but for the most
Yeah.
part, that's really, really good. It offers a lot of opportunities. And so I don't know if there's one major thing, but the thing that I've noticed is it is always growing. And there's new businesses always coming to Charlotte. Ever since we moved to Charlotte, it has been growing and developing and bigger and more. And it's a great city to be a part of. Like I said, it's got great people, it's got smart people, and a great opportunity that can support us, our family, and our business. So
Yep.
it's a really good town. One specific thing?
That you don't like?
No,
You don't have to, like, the thing that you do
change.
like.
It's hard
Oh,
to say
man.
the
Well,
one
I remember-
big
yeah,
thing
there's-
that would change.
Just a number of areas that you drive around now that used to be woods.
Yeah.
Now it's big shopping places or high rises. Valentine's exploded. That's been crazy to watch, and so the South Charlotte area, but even downtown has just continued to develop, and it's
Plaza Midwood changed a lot from when we moved here.
Yeah.
Plaza Midwood used to be pretty low key, and now it's
yeah.
changed quite a bit since then. But it's still great,
Yeah.
just different.
Well, since I moved here, one of the biggest changes I've noticed is traffic. I mean, nobody likes traffic, but what that means is we're in a great town for making bourbon and whiskey, and it means that we've got a lot of opportunity to share our brand and share our product and get the word out that there's good bourbon here locally. I mean, you don't have to go on bourbon hunts, man. You just come right here, man. We've got not only our 2 featured products that you can find here and that you can find in the ABC, but there's a whole cabinet that's right behind here that your viewers can't see, but it's
We'll get
all the
some pictures of it.
expressions and iterations.
Everything
of,
we've made,
of
there's
what
a
we've
bottle
made
in there
here.
for a pour if you wanted to try
there's-
it from the beginning.
Merlot finishes, there's various
Yeah.
port finishes, honey finishes, there's bloody butcher corn, there's the cast strength versions of the very first releases, there's single barrels of stuff that never made it to the shelf outside of that cabinet. I mean, it's just really cool stuff.
Man.
So if you're bourbon curious and you want to come and hang out, they've got a great place to come sit and get one of those unique pours. And we even have a club that does it on Wednesday nights, and they get together and they have a couple of those really unique pours. And so there's a lot of fun things to be
We have
had.
a great outdoor space, and being in North
yeah.
Carolina, the weather is just fabulous.
Fantastic.
We moved every 3 years growing up, and I'm glad I ended up in North Carolina. It's just brilliant.
Yeah. I also, and I'm sure this has come with time, but you guys can turn anything, even in just this conversation, turn anything into a positive for bourbon for you guys, which I think is probably.
Hey, if
somewhat-
I'm holding a glass of whiskey,
Dude,
put whiskey
right.
in my hand. I'm happy.
which is probably
camper,
like
man.
a part of this out of necessity though, because you have to, for this to work, you can't like halfway believe in this product. You have to fully believe in your product, your mission, everything that you're building here. And
Yep.
so the fact that you see traffic and you're like, traffic sucks, but that means there's a lot more people driving here who may be interested in bourbon, and I can get them in the door and introduce them.
I wouldn't
to
say
something.
interesting, Bob.
Yeah.
I would say they're definitely interested. They just don't know it yet.
They just
Yeah,
don't know it
You
yet.
just gotta open their eyes to it. Other Charlotte question: restaurants. What are some restaurants that you guys enjoy? Because selfishly, I'm always interested to
Clearly,
know.
it's all of them. Shay's all of them.
Okay.
What was the question again?
So we have.
What time is it? I'm not getting
So we have, are you hungry?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
hungry.
hungry. Yeah.
So we have, like Matt said, we have kids, and so our radius. By the time we get out of here and we get home, my radius is just so small. If it's not within a couple miles of the home, we barely get to it. But we do have the opportunity to get around and celebrate, and so we're very fortunate because our whiskey is in a lot of restaurants around town. And so to walk into one of those restaurants and have a pour of our whiskey is an incredible feeling.
It's pretty special.
And anytime we get to go out and have a pour of our whiskey at a restaurant, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, and there's a lot of restaurants around town that carry it. So we're very,
We
very
were just
fortunate.
at one
Yeah.
recently. Oh gosh, I hope I say this right. Our whole group was arguing about it. Dram and Draft. So
Yeah,
you guys,
they carry our flight.
Yeah.
You can get our flight. The port is on the flight there.
they were
our
not
four
having
grain-
it the day I was there. They're like, it's gonna.
Yeah.
I forget why
Yeah.
they weren't, but I was like, they're like, yeah, it's Oaklore, and I'm like, Oaklore from here? They're like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, no way.
So they have our 4-grain, they have our
Okay.
rye, our North Carolina rye, and then they have our our bourbon finished in port barrels there, and you can get a flight of it. It's fabulous. It's
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any restaurants that you enjoy?
I was very clear that I like all of the restaurants. Yeah, I do. No, I think it is cool. You know, I was a musician for a long time, and you always wanted your song to be on the radio, and so it's very cool to walk into a place and see our bottle on a shelf. It's like hearing your song on the radio. That's pretty cool because they had to choose to bring it in.
Yeah.
And so they tasted it. They said it was something that was worthy of their shelf. That means a lot to us.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we have great following here in Charlotte, and that people are telling other people about it. I mean, it's spreading like wildfire. It's crazy. You know, we'll have people randomly come up to us at restaurants and like, oh, I see the logo on your shirt. Oh, you guys know Oaklore, and it's just awesome. You engage in conversation with somebody and you have no idea who they are, but they're tasting your stuff. That's awesome. So I'm obviously a big smoked meats guy. I mean, there's some really great places to get brisket in town. Love some Midwood, man. I think they do a great job. But again, Tom and I will just about eat anything. You just put it in front of us, it's gonna happen. So
Simple guys. Any kind of food in front of them, whiskey of some sort, and you guys are happy
a win.
campers.
that's pretty much a win. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good day right there.
Okay. What was that moment? Like you said, seeing your whiskey in restaurants is cool. What was that moment walking into a ABC store for the first time and seeing your stuff on a shelf?
Yeah, we did it on purpose.
We did it
knew
on purpose.
We knew right where it was. We took a
found
whole
out.
field trip for
That's
it.
right.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, we got
those
the-
little
got the
moments, with as much energy as it takes to for this business and for Oaklore, those little moments are important. Matt celebrates those moments really well, and Matt's get in the car, Tom. We got to go. I mean, I got a thing, man. I got stuff to do. He's like, get in the car. And it was a drive, and we went down the road to the ABC store, and we bought our own bottle.
Yeah.
It was very exciting. It was very fun. It was a little while ago. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was fun. And,
Yeah.
and like Matt says, it's amazing to walk into a restaurant and see your stuff on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to walk into an ABC store and see your stuff on the shelf, and you're really part of the community, and you're part of the town, and it's a great feeling.
It's years of hard work,
Yeah.
like all
Yeah.
showing up right there.
That's
Did
a
you
little bit of
keep
success,
those
yeah.
bottles that you bought,
Yeah.
or did you drink
Did
them?
we drink them?
Oh, I think we drank a long time ago. Yeah. We're like, next, get the next bottle. We'll go somewhere else.
See, I'm that person that like I want to hold on.
I think we
like,
tried to keep them.
certain things.
Then we just started.
Yeah, we
having
were just like,
drinks.
wow.
See, I've done
let's go
pretty
get the
good
next
from
one.
like our Louisville trip. there are a few bottles that I still like. I'm like, I want to keep these, and I'm just curious how long we'll be able to keep them. Some of the guys in the group have already opened the ones they
Like,
said they were gonna keep, and I'm like,
whiskey is supposed to be
Supposed
drank.
oh,
to
I
be
agree. I
shared.
just buy a second bottle of it,
Yeah.
and
Oh, right.
drink that. One's for drinking, one's for
It's
the
supposed to be
memoirs.
opened and it's supposed to be shared. I don't think I have a bottle in my cabinet that isn't open. It's supposed to be open.
Yeah,
It's
none,
supposed to be
none
had.
of
It's
them are
supposed to be
off
shared.
limits.
That is the only ones that are not open are the ones that are duplicates, and so I'm
Yeah.
waiting to finish the one, and then it's like the next
The
one,
next
whatever
one on
that's
list.
ready.
Yeah, next one up. That's right.
But yeah, that's how I see it. My friends, this is you guys will appreciate this as much as you were around it. I was home around the holidays, and my buddies don't drink bourbon, so I'm trying to like do the Lord's work and introduce them to bourbon. And
Start a men's group. That's how it works, I guess. I don't know. That's how it worked for us.
Well, my buddies very kindly looked at me and they were like, kind of pulled me aside and they're like, "Hey, Shay," they're like, "Do you have?" You don't get tired of this.
That's how
Like,
it
this is like this is all the time for you.
That's so funny.
So they asked me, they're like, "Shay, do you
That's pretty quick.
do you have a problem?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like,
All you're doing is talking about
well,
whiskey.
they're like, "You have a lot of it, and like, are you have a drinking problem?" And like, one, the fact that I have guys that would actually pull me aside and ask and really
That's
check
good.
in, I was
Sure.
like, "That's awesome."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, guys, I don't." They're like, "Really?" I was like, "No." I said, "Go ahead, ask Altea how much bourbon I drink," and they're like, "Does he have a problem?" She goes, "He doesn't drink it that much." They're like, "Why do you have so much of it?" I was like, "Because when people come over, I can
Appreciate it.
share." I was like, "It's like collecting." I was like, "You collect
Yeah.
shoes. I'm collecting bourbon." I'm
It's
like,
more, so it's not drinking, it's tasting.
Tasting.
So we taste bourbon a lot
Oh.
now because tasting, you get the nuances and the appreciation and the beauty and the magnificence of whiskey, right? And so you want just a little taste.
I like that.
You can have a taste, and that taste can last an hour, and it's a great sample, right?
Yeah.
It's a great taste. We don't drink bourbon. We taste
We
bourbon.
taste bourbon.
Now sometimes we taste
A lot of bourbon.
Yep.
it for a while.
There are
Taste
days.
it for a while.
But for the most part, it's just an appreciation and it's a taste. And
Okay.
Yeah.
I asked you guys a question earlier, how you describe each other. What, from the business standpoint, and maybe you hit on this a little bit, but what have you learned about, one, yourself, actually? Let's start there. What have you learned about yourself, and what have you learned about your friend here going through this whole journey that, like, you're just so grateful for? Or maybe that you're not grateful for.
Wow. There's two questions each, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gee whiz.
jeez.
Oh,
Let's start
man.
with what have you learned about yourself going through this whole
wow.
journey?
What do I learn about myself? I've learned that I have a lot more endurance than I thought I did. You kind of underestimate yourself until you're put to the test, and then you realize that you have enough passion and energy, and you're surrounded by a great community that you can keep going. That's one of the things I think I've learned. And this business takes a lot of endurance and a lot of patience. Because you make it, like Tom said earlier, you make a decision and you don't really know if it's the right one for 5 years. I mean, you have an inkling, you have an idea, but you can do all the research you want, but you don't really know for quite some time. And so if your business is going to shift, it can't shift in 5-10 minutes. It has to shift. It can't shift in 5-10 days. It has to. It shifts in years, months, and so that was
Yeah,
that was
that's for
different.
both of us. That's mine too.
Your endurance?
Yeah.
Nothing else you've learned?
I've never been owned my own company for a long time. I've never had a retail shop, so that was quite a bit different for me.
Okay.
To have a retail shop, to be in one place, to hunker down and build. I was always out moving around and doing projects at places around town, and so that was a change for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
It was just different.
Sure. And then about the other person, what have you learned?
Well, man, I learned that Tom was way more awesome than I thought. I don't know, justified. Keep on going on motif.
Man.
I thought I'd keep going.
I learned Matt was way more awesome than I thought.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. Gosh, I mean,
It's so hard
Yeah,
because we both, I think, have grown into this. It takes a lot, and I don't think that if we didn't grow and adapt, that we would have made it. It's just there's so much, and so every day we have new challenges, and we have to overcome them, and we have to figure out a way to do it. And so that is the challenging part. It's the rewarding part when we get through it. But it's It's fascinating to be a part of it. It's great that we've been able to be able to keep doing it.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Okay. Last question, or maybe second to last on our way out of here. What's coming for Oaklore? What's on the horizon? Short term, long term, what can people be looking for? What are you guys excited about as you continue to grow and evolve?
Man, people are talking about our product. That's so cool. They're buying our bottles. They're taking it to parties. They're taking it to bourbon tastings. They're putting it on their shelf. It's becoming their house bourbon. That's just awesome. And that's not just like our friends. You know, it's people we don't know, people we never met, people across the state. We got folks ordering our stuff online that are getting it into all kinds of other states. We had some friends that loved our stuff and took it over like to the Middle East, you know, and they just shared it with some friends there. And so our bottles are, you know, way across the ocean. Yeah. And that's been really cool to see that kind of thing happen. I think for us it is trying to take a strategic approach to saturate our, you know, state as best we can, and then continue to move on from there. So I think that's kind of what's coming down the pike. We're going to be introducing ourselves to people for the next 5 years at least, and then you always got an opportunity for more introductions. I mean, there's 8 billion people on this planet. Let's get a bottle for every one of them. There you go.
Once they're of age and wherever they're.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Jeez. It felt real inspiring until he said that.
He was like,
yeah, he's like, yeah.
Crushed it, Matt, in my head, and he was like, dude, I was like, is Matt trying to? No, he wasn't. Golly.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's good. So another question I wanted to know from you guys is, you guys take great pride being Charlotte-based, North Carolina, which is what this podcast is about, Charlotte. What do you hope is there a specific message or thing that you hope people tie to Oaklore? Like, of course, great bourbon.
Quality.
But
Quality.
Quality.
Quality,
Quality.
passion.
And that's what you hope your impact is on bourbon here, nationwide, globally, quality bourbon.
There's a lot of stuff on the shelf that's just, it's
Stuff
a marketing
on the
ploy.
shelf.
It's you know, comes out of the same place. It's just a different bottle. We didn't want to be that at all, ever. We made that decision early on that we weren't going to do that we were going to create our products to be unique, individual, and high quality.
Yeah, and you know, Charlotte's where we're starting. You're going to see us around town a little bit more. We're going to have a presence in South End, and we're excited about that. We're going to ramp up production, and we're going to build, and hopefully we're a brand that you can't help but notice soon.
Well, I am excited and honored that you guys would let me get some of your time to talk about bourbon. Again, one of my favorite things. But this is the stuff that to me makes people a fan. Like, I don't know how many people in Charlotte that drink bourbon know you, but hopefully they get to know you very soon. But then I don't know why you wouldn't want to support if the stuff is good. Like, you got a great story. These two guys who really care about what they're doing, they're passionate and are doing it for the right reasons. And so for me, this is why I do this. So that way people can know who you are, know the guys behind it, and say, you know what, I'm going to support and maybe buy their bottle instead, because they're the hometown guys and their stuff is really good at the same time.
It's never lost on us. We always appreciate the support.
Yeah. So thank you so much for letting me be here to empty glasses at the end of this, but I appreciate it. And guys, ladies, get yourself some Oaklore bourbon wherever you can. Come down and hang out. They have a great fireplace. We're probably getting away from fireplace season right now, but it is still a great place to hang out in a great environment. Thank you both so much for having me.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.